Example that Rupa Goswami is citing in Ujjwal Nilamani comes from Sri Jayadev Goswami's Gita Govind. He says, Sakya Abhisaranam Yata Shri Gita Govinde Tvam Vamena Samam Samagram Aruna Tigamsur Astam Gato Govindasya manoratena chasamam praptam tama sandratam kokanam karuna swanena sadrishi dirgamad abhyartana tan mukde vilambanam aso ramyo. This word is there, ramyo. Ramyo abhisara shana. Ramyo abhisara shana. This is one of the Ashtasakis of Radharani, Sudevi, who has a twin sister named Rangadevi. Rangadevi and Sudevi are twin sisters. So even there's twins in the spiritual world. It's not only a phenomenon in the material world, twin sisters or twin brothers, like we have our twin brothers in Mayapur. Pankajangri and Jananivas. Maybe they're Rangadevi and Sudevi. I'm only joking, but obviously they're not. But they're like that, and they're fully engaged in the service of Radha Madhava and the Ashtasakis. So one can only wonder what their eternal identity is. So this is from Gita Govind. Then Sudevi is speaking to Srimati Radhika. Oh, listen, Saki. The sun planet is very, very hot. And the heat of that sun is just like the heat of your anger. But the sun has completely set. And now deep darkness, similar to Krishna's desires, has spread everywhere. So this is, of course, the Udipan being described here to excite Radharani's love as the sun is set. Radharani's in Man, basically. She's in a contrary mood. This is the verses before this in Gita Govind. So we're just jumping in the middle here with this citation from Ujjwal Nilamani to simply show that this is the seva of the Sakis or Manjaris, is to bring a Saki to Krishna, or to Krishna to Radharani, or to some other Saki. So she's saying, listen, the sun is very hot, and you're very hot also. You're hot you're sulking, you're pouting, you're angry with Krishna. But the sun is set, so let your mind set. Cool down, lady. Cool down. And now, after the sun sets, what comes? Darkness. Everywhere is darkness. Darkness means Krishna, Sham, Ganasham. So she's making very intelligently and cleverly, Sudevi is making this comparison of the natural phenomenon of sunset and the arrival of darkness with the setting of her anger and the arrival of Krishna to receive her love and give his love to her. So by her speaking, she's trying to incite attraction and trying to convince her to give up her man and come with me to Krishna. I will bring you to Krishna. Avisar. The sun, whose heat is similar to your anger, has completely set. So there's it's called Parokshavad. So if that's true, then why don't you Vrishabhanu Nandini? Because your name is Bhanu. Your name is Bhanu Nandini. Bhanu means sun. The word Bhanu, B-H-A-N-U, means son. And Nandini means daughter. Daughter of Vrishabhanu. Vrishabhanu Maharaj. And she's Bhanu Nandini or Vrishabhanu Nandini. She worships the sun god, Surya Puja. She's a daughter of the sun. And there's a whole relationship between Radharani, the sun planet, Lita Madhav, and Satyabhama, and that whole Leela there in Rupa Goswami's Lita Madhav. Radharani offers her Shankachuta gem to the sun planet when she's inadvertently, she was offering tarpan to the Radharani's bathing in Yamuna, Lita Madhav, and she's offering tarpan, which one does. He should offer water to the sun. It's like rather odd because Kalindi, Yamuna, is the daughter of the sun. So you're offering the daughter back to the father, which is all right. But he's the one that offered the daughter to you. Because Suryadev, his progeny is Yamuna. His daughter is Yamuna. Now you're offering. So Radharani was wanting to give up her own body, and so she was offering Tarpan to Suryadev and Lalita Madhav. As I remember, it was about 15 years ago when I read it. And then, as she was doing that, the Shankachuta gem that was around her neck was a necklace. And sometimes it's described by our Rasik Janis Raghunath Das Rupa as the Shankachuta money that was given to her by Krishna in two different hands after killing Shankachuta. And here in Lagamohan Kund, which is just out here at Radhakund, Lagamohan, Krishna met him at Ratnavedi and chased him and killed him in Lagamohan. Laga means to take away. Took away his crest jewel. Now it's all filled with dirt and chickpeas. It's every year. At any rate, so now the acharyas say that Shankachuta money is tied as a jewel at the end of Radharani's beni. After they brush her hair and decorate her, sometimes they tie the Shankachuta jewel there. So at any rate, she's offering, and what happened is her necklace fell into her hands. It fell off her neck. The Shankachuta went into her hands, and she was at the same time she was offering water to the sun. So in her hands was Yamuna water and the Shankachuta gem. And then Suryadev took that gem. Suryadev took that gem because he offered, if you offer me something, I'll put it in my pocket. So Suryadev kept that gem. And what did he do? He gave it to a great devotee of his, who he had a lot of affection for. His name was Satyajit. You've heard of Satyajit? And maybe you never read Dwarka Leela. You people are too much fixed in Vrindavan. But in Krishna book there's Dwarka Leela. And Dwarka Leela there's someone named Satyajit. He was a great devotee of the sun god, Suryadev. Being pleased with and affectionate towards Satyajit, Suryadev gave him a reward. He gave him a gem, a very valuable jewel called, what's it called? Shamantaka. It's called Shamantaka jewel. You don't know the Krishna book? Very embarrassing audience. You know? Yeah. So Shamantaka jewel. And this jewel is phenomenal, mystical, amazing, tantric powers that if you worship this jewel on an altar, of course, Satyajit is a Kshatriya. So he hired Brahmins to do the puja because that's their business. Kshatriyas don't do puja, generally. So these Brahmins were doing puja, and every day that Shamantaka jewel was producing 100 kilos of gold. I would think all the ladies would know about that jewel, or want to. And so he was quite wealthy. So then, guess who his daughter is? Satyabhama. So the jewel went to the sun planet, and then that jewel went to Satyajit, and then Radharani went to the sun planet, and Radharani became Satyabhama, and then she went to Satyajit. It's all there in Lalita Madhav, and many things are there in Krishna book. So this is talking about Bhanunandini, the burning sun of her man. So Sudevi is trying to convince her to come with her for Avisar. And the deep darkness, similar to Krishna's desires, has spread everywhere. Just see, the Chakravaka birds are crying in misery at night. Oh, charming girl. Oh, Radha. I repeatedly appeal to you, please, don't delay any more. If you delay any more, this beautiful, auspicious, dark night will pass. Now is the time for your delightful meeting. I told you Ramya Upasana. Ramya means delightful. Now is the time for your Ramya Abhisar. Shana means now. Shana, right now. Now is the time. Let's go. Saki, jao. Chumuna jaunge. Ramya Abhisar. So this is an example of the Saki Seva of bringing Radharani to Krishna. Abhisar Seva. So this is a beautiful example in Ujjwal Nilamani, and that this itself gives vast information for meditation, for one who's inclined in this mode of Ragamarg. Just chanting japa and meditating on this scene and And what would you say to Radharani to encourage her to meet Krishna? How would you induce her? And because this is from Gita Govinda, and there's particular acts or scenes or sequences, it's called act, in the drama of Gita Govinda where Radharani's in Man. So this is the first one, arrange for Krishna and Radharani to meet Krishna, bring the divine couple together, the meeting of the divine couple. Now the second seva is to be a cheater. I don't mean the kind of cheaters that are in the material world, men that cheat on women and women that cheat on men and students that cheat in their exams. But the same idea is there. There's a little cheating involved here. And this is a seva. I'm cheating for Krishna. But first get to the spiritual world and do this seva. Don't cheat here. It's called kapat. And kapat is one of the contaminations in bhakti, which I mentioned, kutinati and kapat. Kapat means cheating. It's in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's talking about bhakti. And it says kutinati and kapat, cheating. But here, the second seva of the Manjaris is to cheat the husbands and superiors. So there's an example of that here. You can see that one. It's funny because many times in the past times, because one of the sevas of the Manjaris and Sakhis is to rebuke and chastise Krishna. So many times it's called a paradox. The same Sakhis and Manjaris, they tell Krishna, "You kapat, you cheat," because he runs with Chandravali or some Vipaksha Sakhi, some rival or enemy of Radharani. Krishna's caught. Sometimes the Sakhi Manjari catches Krishna with Padma or Shaiva or Chandravali. "Ah, you kapat, you cheat." And so she herself is a cheat. And she herself, even a Manjari, she does cheating to get Radha and Krishna together, or to herself to get out from her husband or from her household to go and do her seva for Radha and Krishna. She has to cheat her superiors or relatives or elders, mother and father, if she's not married, or her mother-in-law and father-in-law if she's married. And then she's also, but then some other circumstance, she's calling Krishna kapat, you cheater. And everything's possible there. So this is verse 115. This is a seva of the Manjaris and Sakhis. This is called Patyade Parivanchana. This is a seva called Patyade Parivanchana. And this is, the Lita Sakhi is speaking to Abhimanyu. Does everyone know who Abhimanyu is? Abhimanyu is Ayan Ghosh. In Bengali they say Ayan Ghosh. He is the so-called husband of Srimati Radharani. So now Lalita is very expert speaker, and Abhimanyu is rather dull. He's a little dull, and he easily gets angry, and he's a little dull-witted. And Lita is so clever and so expert, she can tie him up in knots. So she says, Shamanga paturesha karmani batur gargasya shishya maya. Radham acharyatam pragdinakaram sadmanyayam prapita. Tenabhira payastvam agamya gam dugdva patanga priyam pingakshim aronamaham tu karavan yebi saroje srajam. Saroj means fragrant red lotus is a saroj. It's also a woman's name, Saroj. This is how Lalita speaks in order to fool and cheat Abhimanyu. And Where is this being spoken? This is being spoken in Vrindavan, in Surya Mandir, in Surya Kund, which is 7 kilometers northeast of Radhakund. And this is when Radharani went to do Surya Puja around this time in the afternoon, around 3 o'clock or so, 3 p.m., around this time, afternoon. And she couldn't find any Brahman anywhere because she wasn't even looking. For 6 hours she was with Krishna, and Madhyan Leela she was with Krishna and Radhakund. And then she said, oh, and she got the news from Brinda Devi and some parrots, guess what? Abhimanyu, your husband, and your mother-in-law, Jatila, are fuming with anger over your tardiness in returning home, and are speedily proceeding to the Surya Mandir to see what is the problem and why you are late. As soon as Radharani and Krishna, the Gopi Sakhi Manjaris, hear this word Jatila, they jump. Oh, their heart skips a beat, and they all just run out of there. And Krishna runs over here. From Radhakund he goes over there, the Kunjara. Kunjara is over there, 3 kilometers, 2 kilometers. He goes there and he meets with Brinda Devi and Purnamasi. And then they disguise Krishna as a Brahmin. And then Radharani is in Surya Kund. She rushes there quickly with her Sakhis. And then Jatila arrives there with Abhimanyu. And she says, why are you late? Oh, we couldn't find a Brahmin anywhere. All the Brahmins went to Mathura because there was a big bandura. A big bandura. There's a big bandara. There's also a big bandara. Big bandara. There's a big feeding, a big festival in Mathura, and there's some big Seth, big millionaire, went to Mathura and he's giving 500 rupees to every panda. And a big Chapan Bhog feast. So every single Brahmin in Braj Mandal went to Mathura to have Chapan Bhog and get 500 rupees. Chaka Chak Bhog. Aj ke Ananda ki. So we couldn't find we couldn't find a Brahmin anywhere. Oh, look, just see. Here comes Brinda Devi. Here comes Brinda Devi and Rupa Mandri. And there's Madhumangal. There's another Brahmin with him. Kind of dark complexion. Look, just see. And then they come and say, we found this Brahmin. And so now Lalita is speaking, at that time, at that place, Lalita is speaking to Abhimanyu. This is an example of one of the Sakhi Sevas called cheating the husband. Pati Parivanchana. This is one of the services of the Sakhis, to cheat the husbands and superiors. So Lalita's there. Abhimanyu, see this dark complexioned boy, Sham Anga Patur Esha Karmani Batur Gargasya Shishyo Maya. He's Garga Muni Shishya. Garga Muni. Then as soon as Abhimanyu hears the name Garga Muni, Gargacharya, the Acharya for the Yadava dynasty, the Acharya for Vasudeva, that great Garga Rishi. And this is his shishya, his disciple. So that evoked a lot of respect and created a lot of reverence in the mind of Abhimanyu. And and then she said, he's very expert at performing rituals. Of course, Abhimanyu is interpreting the word ritual to mean pujas and yagyas, swaha, and Surya Puja. But what Lalita means by rituals is the kama yagya. The kama yagya is a sacrifice of Cupid. It's called the kam yagya. So rituals means yagyas and sacrifices, but Krishna is very expert at the sacrifice of Cupid. So she's really playing with Abhimanyu. And he's thinking, this is a great Brahmin, highly trained and learned, expert in rituals. What rituals? The rituals of erotic loving exchanges. That ritual. The Kama Sutra. And then he goes on to say, I have brought him. So he may hear, so he may direct Radharani's worship of the sun god. Radham archayatam pragedina karam. Oh, cowherd, oh Gopa. She says, oh Gopa, Abhimanyu. Listen, we need some samagri for the worship and puja. Samagri means ingredients. So listen, you go back to Yavat and you find a red cow, because when you're worshipping Suryadev, everything should be red. Red asan, red cloth. You offer him apples and you offer him anar and you offer him kunkum and red incense. Everything should be red. And you grind chandan. There's two kinds of chandan, dark and light. You offer dark chandan, which is called red chandan, if you can find. And then if you're going to offer him some kheer, the kheer should be mixed with keshar, which is red, of saffron. And then that milk should come from a red cow. This is all part of the puja rituals of Surya Puja, which Lalita knows very well. And so she's telling, oh, Abhimanyu, you have to leave now, Surya Kund, and you have to go back to Yavat and milk some red cow and bring that milk back here, because this is very dear to the sun god. And then return. Meanwhile, I shall make a garland of these red java flowers to offer to Suryadev, or some red roses. Red flowers are offered to Suryadev. Whereas in Krishna Puja, we offer all fragrant flowers, but that means principally white flowers, because white flowers, at least in India, are the most fragrant. Juhi, mogra, malati, these are probably the most fragrant flowers, and champa, and they're all white. And it says that in Hari Bhakti Vilas, we should offer Krishna, especially, must be only fragrant flowers, and especially white ones, because these are the most fragrant. So this is an example of the seva of cheating the husbands. This was not a Garga Rishi Shishya, this dark complexioned Brahmin boy. This is Krishna Shyamasundar, the illicit lover of his wife Radharani, standing in front of him in the disguise of a Brahmin. And she's saying, oh, she's lying. Lalita's lying. So he's a great Brahmin, he's a disciple, he knows all the rituals. And then she says, oh, go milk a cow and come back. So now he's out of the way. Now there's only Jatila, and then she's easy to fool. So son's a little more clever than his mother, Jatila. So now another service we have is number 3 in our alphabetical arrangement, is to console or pacify Radha Krishna with soothing, comforting words. So that example is here in the Sakhi Prakarana, chapter 8, and we can look at that. Consolation is called ashwasanam. Ashwasanam means to console, to pacify, to mollify, to make one peaceful and relaxed by your words, by your speech, by the news you give or the report you may bring. So this is Lalita, because Radharani is very, very impatient. As I told you, this period of time, this Aparan Leela to Shayan Leela to Pradosh Leela, is about 7 or 8 hours, from 3:36 until 10 o'clock at night. This includes Aparana Leela, Shayan Leela, Pradosh Leela, and Astayam. It's the most painful time for Srimati Radhika. And any service that Manjaris render to Radharani at that time is the most appreciative and most dear and remembered seva. Service is judged by its necessity. The greater the need, the greater the appreciation, and the greater the value. That's how you judge. If I'm in a desert dying of water, and you bring me 10 liters of water, You saved my life, so that's a vital, life-saving service you've done to me. So if I judge that service, I will consider the service that you rendered at that time to save my life as the greatest seva that anyone's ever done for me. That's the greatest service you can do for someone, is to save their life. So this is called service is judged by its necessity. When the need is great, and so here Radharani's need is for comfort. She's distressed, she's in anguish, she's burning in separation from Krishna, literally and figuratively. Her body is hot. Have you ever had a fever? You stick a little piece of glass in your mouth with some mercury in the middle of it, and it goes 102, 3, 4, 5, and your head's throbbing and you're sweating. You have a fever, and you can die from a fever if it's not abated or controlled. It's unpleasant feeling. It's disturbing to have a fever. Imagine, and generally your head is hot, but your feet may not be that hot, but your head, your chest may be very hot. But in Radharani's case, from head to toe, she's burning in a fire of separation. Viraha Agni. So she needs comfort. She needs to be cooled down. So they fan her with banana leaves dipped in water and lotus leaves, and they cover her body. Her whole body is covered with chandan mixed with kapoor. Kapoor is camphor. It's very cooling by itself. You mix sandalwood with camphor, it's so cooling. It's like ice on your body. And as soon as that camphor and that chandan, sandalwood paste, is put on Radharani's body, it immediately dries up into dust. Dries up like it was scorched by the suns of the desert. The sun in the desert will burn up any liquid or water in 1 second. It's so hot. So Radharani says to Lalita, she says, though 1,000 yugas have passed today, why hasn't the sun set? Because in some seasons of the year in Vrindavan, the sun sets at 7 o'clock or 7:15. And Radharani left Krishna at 3:36 in the afternoon. And she's 3 or 4 hours sitting in Yavat. And the sun is shining, or in Varsana. And the sun is she's burning inside Radharani is burning inside with the fire of 1,000 suns of separation, Viraha Agni. And she says, why doesn't the sun set? Because when the sun sets, then the night comes. And then when the night comes, then soon it becomes Pradosh. Then it becomes Ratri. Ratri, then it's Ratri Leela. We say Nisha Leela, Ratri Leela. And then she'll meet Krishna in the deep dark of night. She'll run from her house at 10 o'clock, 10:30, on her Abhisar. So she says this, and then Lalita says, oh, Bhanunandini, don't repeatedly become so fatigued and tired. The sun desires to move in a crooked way while setting in the west. See? Delighting your eyes and dispelling the darkness of the dust raised. Delighting your eyes and dispelling the darkness of the dust raised by the cows. The moon is now rising. So she's trying to say, listen, the day is over already. The cows have passed, Krishna and the cows have passed by Barsana, and the dust from their feet, the Goduli, is already settling in the atmosphere. And now the sun is already set, the moon is starting to rise, because for the moon is Radharani's best friend. The moon is her best friend. Of course, her favorite day, Radharani's favorite day of the month is when there's no moon, is on dark moon or Amavasya, because she can freely move to Krishna. But the moon means Krishna Chandra. The moon means Chandramukhi. The moon means Chandramukhi will meet with Krishna Chandra. Chandramukhi is Radha, and Krishna Chandra is Shyam. So the full moon night, the Sharad Purnima, the Rasa dance, the Vasant Rasa dance, the Sharad Rasa dance, all the Rasa dances in the Purnimas. So Radharani loves the full moon. The daytime, Krishna's with the Sakhas. When the sun is shining, Krishna's with the Sakhas. And when the moon is shining, Krishna's with the Sakhis. So she likes the moon so much. So Lalita knows that very well. So she's comforting Radharani, rendering a wonderful service of comforting Radharani by speaking in such a way describing the situation, giving her news of Krishna, or giving her news of the environment in Braj, how things are flowing towards in a positive direction, and calming her. And this is a beautiful seva. And even here in this world, oftentimes our friend is distressed, our friend is upset because of some emotional disturbance or financial. So many reasons people get upset. And so we know that, so we call them. We may hear about it and say, hello, I heard you weren't feeling well, and anything I can do, is everything okay, and this, that. So this is human nature, it's exchange of love, to console, to comfort, to help. So that as above, so below. So there, the Sakhis are consoling Radharani. This is one of their sevas. So today we heard about how they arrange for the divine couple to meet Abhisar, then they cheat their superiors and husbands so that Radharani and Krishna can meet freely, and that they themselves can escape their houses and do their sevas to Radha and Krishna. And we heard how they console Radharani, or even Krishna. Sometimes he also gets distressed. And Radharani was consoling Krishna when she was disguised as Subal Saka. So this is 3, and we'll discuss some more services in the upcoming days. Ujjwala Nilamani ki jai. Our next class is